Hello everyone, my name is BB, and today our topic on YouTube vlogger families and child exploitation. The Gardner Quad Squad. I don't have a script for this, but I've watched enough of their videos in the past, a little bit in the recent, and BuzzFeed once did a thing on them when their 4 daughters were like a year old and featured on other Utah vloggers' channels with collabs and constantly harshly degraded and criticized by lame goth mom. Actually, that was the last video I watched, and she was watching a video of crazy Ashley and Tyson Gardner doing a video making fun of themselves as parents, making fun of their daughters, using their nanny as a grown-up stand-in version of their 4 daughters. I can't really tell the difference between the nanny and the annoying mom. Sometimes I think the annoying mom is truly the nanny, and thus they don't even nanny. It's really confusing. So, I have right here, I'm trying not to show my face right now because I don't feel like it. Dropped it on my shoulder. That's all I have, just my phone for, but this way. Yeah. Me. Thank you to the very few people who have read my statements on Reddit under my same username, BB Speaks, that I am deciding to do a video series on child exploitation of YouTuber vlogger families, and how all the adults in charge of creating their YouTubes have decided my kid is the moneymaker. If my kid isn't acting, we're not making any money. And so, I'm going to exploit my kids and script them and block them and stage them and tell them to go left and tell them to go right and tell them to do this activity and this action and then stage them in certain activities and playthings and events around our house just to make drama that they don't really need, but it brings in the cash flow. And that's what they do. So, Tyson and Ashley Gardner. The story goes that they are 6 years apart, and they met when she was 13, and he was 19, somewhere in Mormon, Utah, Morador. And he was friends with, I guess, one of her older brothers, but he had a crush on her when he was 19 and legal. Whereas she was 13 and still a child, and they got together then. It seems very exploitative just in the beginning. Like, how narcissistic and selfish can you be? I'm not... That's worse than, No, never mind. I was gonna make a Duggar reference, but screw that. It's not strong enough. It was too weak. So, after like 5 or 6, 7 years of being infertile, she underwent IVF. And she got pregnant, like her first round of IVF, not with 1 egg or 2 eggs. But I think it was 3 eggs, and I think 2 of her babies are identical, and the other 2 girls are fraternal. I think. Because I'm not quite sure how many eggs she got pregnant with, but that's beyond my point. So, where's my mouse? Let's just go to the bigger pictures. So, in a lot of their videos, they just let their daughters run wild and run free. She is obsessed with dressing them all alike. a very common trait in a lot of moms and dads who have multiples of the same gender, and let's just all dress them the same for the sake of prosperity. It's not even for the sake of laundry at this point, or after the age of 1. Oh, look, they're wearing different clothes. Different colors. Nope, the same. 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 They have a habit of eating out more than I do. And that's not saying a lot. But they take their wild, rambunctious girls they've never disciplined, they don't say no to, and they misbehave. And misbehave and misbehave. And they act like it's so cute to see four kids misbehaving, standing on chairs, crawling all over the tables, getting their face into every single food on the table as if they were dogs. It was very weird. And then they went with these names of Indy. Not India. Indy. Esme, Scarlet with 2 T's, and Evie. I'm just gonna leave it there for everyone else to make their own interpretations of why did they choose Evie, spelled that way. Sounds very infantile. They do infantilize their daughters. They had them in cribs until they were 4. Then they got them big girl beds. No, wait, they just took the sides down and made them into toddler bed mode, and then they did a bedroom thing where They put 2 girls in one bedroom, 2 girls in the other bedroom, and they got them full-size beds from, I think, Pottery Barn Kids. Full-size beds that they would never really grow out of, but I'm sure down the road, eventually, that they'll get queen-size beds, which really isn't that much of an upgrade from a full. But, you know, for the sake of spending money. They also had a 4-kid stroller, the kind that daycares have. Not the big plastic bulky ones, but you know, just the, I don't know, what is it, $900 generic daycare, childcare stroller with the fabric, with the vinyl, with the basic seatbelt buckles. The Buzzbees had one for a while. They're not anything fancy, but they are a lot of money, and you do have to wait for them for like, I don't know, 6 or 7 weeks to get delivered, because they're common, but they're not overly common. And they babied these girls so much over the years. And they do things wrong in parenting, and they make fun of their daughters for the tiniest little childhood behaviors. But then they make fun of their daughters for misbehaving instead of correcting the misbehaviors. They don't care. They're really bad people. He's obese, and she's always obsessed with being stick thin. And they go to restaurants more frequently than they've ever set foot in a gym or a personal trainer. They actually go to the ER with their girls more often for scrapes, cuts, bruises, coughs, colds. It's like they probably have a pediatrician, but they don't go to the pediatric office because that's not enough drama, and their pediatric office probably has a no cameras rule, and that doesn't work for Trashley. So she takes her girls to the ER because she can film there. They don't have the posters up that say no filming. So she can film there. And that gets her the drama. And I think the last time I saw her do that, she took one of the girls who had like a really bad cough, but was fine the next day. So she was just looking for drama. Now, in YTMD, I guess a lot of sanctimommies and different women can have different opinions. And there is a difference between the four girls. Two of them are smaller and two of them are taller and a little bit more stockier. But it doesn't help the diet that Trashley and Tyson, also known as Bison because Bison rhymes with Tyson. And that's a common nickname for him on the internet. They eat out so much and they take the girls out for fast food so much. They do DoorDash and Grubhub so much that there's more fast food in these girls' diets than there is any homemade meals or fun. Let's make snacks together. Let's do snack art. No, there's nothing creative. Oh, yeah, that's right. They didn't do high chairs. They did one of those. And then later on, they did, what was it, Peg Perego high chairs. It cost like $400 a piece. Trashley has been all about the brand names. Brand names, brand names, brand names. Oh, and she put them in ballet and tap like 2 years ago. But it's just kind of silly to see 3-year-olds doing ballet and tap class. There's no need. Wait until they're 5. They went to preschool, or maybe, but they were in separate groups. And I remember Trashley said in a few vlogs she hated that they were separated, that the preschool put her girls in separate groups, that they always need to be one, that they always need to be together. And then coronavirus happened and their preschool closed. So then they were back at home all together as one. She's narcissistic and vain and selfish, and she doesn't want her daughters to grow emotionally or have independence or be individuals. Oh, okay, there we go. So the last video I watched, and the last video they actually posted on YouTube, and I will show that on my iPad. Right, finding quadruplets new bikes is a nightmare. 3 weeks ago, I think that's the one I watched. I can't remember if they had training wheels or not, but they had balance bikes. They had different kinds of trikes. Oh, I saw teaching, that was 2 months ago. Teaching quadruplets to ride bikes in 5 minutes. I watched that video. Now I'm going to watch this.
What are we doing today?
And, I don't want to get copyright strikes, so I'm going to have the volume off. I don't like their voices anyway. Oh, and they dressed up the kids matching for their trip to, looks like Target or Walmart. Oh, and they're using a thermometer to assume that one child has a bad cold. Or maybe it's time to go to the ER. I'm not sure. They're all wearing matching shirts. But then one of them has a gray sweatshirt on. Maybe she's cold. Looks like Walmart. And now they're at all the kids' bikes where, they're looking at a lot of the 14 and 16-inch bikes, maybe some 18-inchers. Now they're letting their girls ride the training wheel bikes through the aisles. Riding some trikes. Like that. Looks like one picked a darker bike, maybe black, and 2 picked pink. Yep, they got training wheels. So they had balance bikes, but maybe they just didn't get enough balance bike riding time in their driveway, in their yard, and around their neighborhood. Because maybe Trashley just didn't see, neighborhood bike rides with the girls as vitally important. So why bother? And now they picked out the bikes. Looking at cheap toys. Garden Center at Walmart. More bikes. They got looks like 2 pink bikes, 1 purple bike, and 1 blue bike. And they're all, I think, Barbie and Disney. that have the little kind of doll seats on the back behind them. That's, I guess it's cute at that age, but it's not really that functional. They got them training wheels. Okay, there's one on 2 wheels. Maybe one of the 4 girls actually like the balance bikes and wants to be on 2 wheels. Okay, there's a second one on 2 wheels. She fell, but she looks like she's getting back up again. Of course, they teach the girls how to ride 2-wheel bikes on flip-flops. And now they're letting the girls go across the street by themselves and outside. Oh, and they're letting the girls write their names in Sharpie on the bike frames. It's interesting. The girls are trying to individualize themselves by saying, "This is my bike," in Sharpie. I don't think Trashley is having any of it. She looks upset, and then she pans the camera close to her face with thumbs down, and she just looks upset that her girls are trying to write their names on their bikes. But that's Trashley for you. So that was it. That was my reaction. They got their bikes. 2 of them chose to be on 2 wheels. The one's in the pink bikes. And then the other 2 girls look like training wheels they kept on. So, recently, and that video was 3 weeks ago. They haven't uploaded in 3 weeks, which says a lot, because Tyson was caught on social media DMing minor children, sending sexy nudes of himself and flirting and asking little girls on the internet, on Instagram and Snapchat and all those, what was it, TikTok and some other messenger thing, WhatsApp or something. He was IMing little girls ages 9 to 14 to take their clothes off and whatnot, and now he's been exposed, and maybe he's been arrested, maybe he's been interrogated, maybe he's had involvement with the police in Utah, maybe not. I don't know. But 3 weeks of silence on YouTube is golden. And that means that definitely something has occurred, that maybe a lawyer spoke to them and said, just stop with YouTube for a while. Because after all, a lawyer told Ruby Griffith to stop talking on her vlogs and let her kids talk. And if you talk on your vlogs, you could be sued by somebody. Or CPS told her not to talk on the vlogs, and then her lawyer echoed that back. Something happened that Ruby is not allowed to talk or use her voice when she's vlogging. And now we have Bison and Trashley not showing anything on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, nothing on social media, nothing on any sharing platforms. So yeah, that's my almost 20-minute video, more than 10 minutes too long, on Gardner Quad Squad. Ultimately, I think their girls are spoiled. I think they failed at parenting. They would always buy 4 of everything for the girls, from doll strollers to doll houses to pink this and pink that, Minnie Mouse this and Barbie that, Disney Princess this, 4 of everything. And always matching outfits. To the point where they couldn't ever individualize themselves or separate themselves or become their own person. And they're 5 years old now, and they don't have a sense of self individually. I don't think they ever will. Because their mother is so anti-individuality that they can't, and they have no escape. Unless they go to BYU someday and they live, on campus or in other places. And even then, they still won't have much sense of individuality. It's really unfortunate. These girls would just be always trapped. they don't really stand a chance. They're not going to end up in foster care or live with relatives. They're just always going to be stuck with Tyson and Trashley, and they're always going to be stuck. This is why, God forbid, if I ever have multiples, they're getting individual names, they're getting individual outfits, their own choice of clothes, and they're getting their own individual things without having 2, 3, or 4 of everything. I don't have kids yet, but I've watched maybe 100 or so of their videos over the past 5 years, and they smother their girls too much. They don't let them grow. They don't give them a chance. Now Tyson has been caught DMing nudes of himself and whatnot to minor children on the internet. And they haven't uploaded on YouTube in 3 weeks. Wonder who is next on the chopping block. Who is next to stop uploading and get in trouble with the law? I'm guessing Asa of Fathering Autism, or maybe Crazy Stephanie from Our Landing Crew. She could be next on the chopping block of, oh, our lawyer said we can't YouTube anymore. CPS got involved. Blah, 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 this is why. Or Jess Scoob of Jess Fam. Those 3 are probably next on the chopping block to have to take a break from YouTube. I hope they all do. But if they don't, then that gives me more fodder and more fuel to make another video. So stay tuned, y'alls, and thank you for surviving through the stupidity that is Trashley and Bison. Let's find a cute photo of those girls without Trashley and Bison in the photo. Okay. Whatever. Mermaid babies. Whatever. Close enough. Nope, they're sexualized. Okay. There you go. Cute enough. The reality. That's it. I'm done. Stay tuned, y'alls.